enjoying it.
Savoring the moment. Kevin Glenn was in trouble again, gets it away. And Maurice Mann has his first catch of the game. But Marcel Belfait looking for the key to unlock this Bomber defense that's really bottled his team up.
Well, it's easy to say, you know, I know Hamilton fans are probably watching saying, why don't they just try and push the ball? Like, get down the field, try a couple shots down the field. You really need time to be able to throw it deep. Kevin Glenn hasn't had that time yet.
And they're 0 for 9 second down conversions. Glenn rolling, he'll take off. And they're going to convert this one as he runs out for a first down.
Well, and had to do it on his own because of the coverage down the field again.
Kevin Glenn had only run for 15 yards in the last 6 games. He gets a key 6-yard run here.
Yeah, basically once a game. I mean, that's really around where his average. Coming in, he had 15 carries in 13 games. But a key first down there, just to get something, a little peace of mind for this offense.
Darcy Brown releases, but they're going deeper. Chris Williams can't make the catch. 2 defenders there, Javon Johnson and Jonathan Hefney. But the rookie had a shot at the football and couldn't reel it in.
You know, we're watching a nice competition between 2 rookie receivers here that should be nominees out of their team for the Rookie of the Year award. Chris Williams, as well as he's played this year, has got to make that catch when your team is struggling the way it is. And I think right now Denmark has outshined him, Clarence Denmark, in this game tonight.
Williams had a big game earlier this year against Winnipeg. 7 catches, 162 yards, 2nd and 10. Looking to string together some first downs. Glenn doesn't want to run, and now has to throw it away. Tried to buy a little extra time to find an open man, and then Kenny Maynard closed it down.
Now, great coverage down the field. I mean, Dave Stalla was over there. Maurice Mann was trying to shake his guy, and Avon Coburn had just... Kevin Glenn basically had 3 options on that sideline once he broke out of there. Go ahead and run this right out of the gate. He's going to end up over here. Kevin Glenn is trying to find those receivers down here on the boundary. And when he gets out there, hold it there. Now you look, you got great coverage all the way around all those receivers. Outnumbered almost 2-1.
Short kick, but a little roll, and Javon Johnson steps out. You saw in that replay, Glenn wasn't going to run for the first down that time.
No.
Now Buck Pierce will take over. We'll see them at the game. There's Chris Garrett on a good first down run up to the 35. And how about our colleague, Sarah Orleski, getting set for a little test flight in an F-18 this weekend.
And she's good with that, is she? She's got her flight suit. Now you can't just, you don't just get your boarding pass and get on those planes.
No.
You need a full training session and physical and everything.
She's passed the physical. We knew she'd do that. The G suit tomorrow.
She better have her seat in the upright and locked position. I guarantee you that.
There's Buck Pierce. Terrence Edwards that catching a first down, but there is a flag on the play as Edwards gets to midfield. Let's see if this is coming back.
Holding. Winnipeg number 59. 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Left tackle Andre Douglas.
Bombers are going more to these crossing routes, even though they'll be in a hole here on 2nd and long. They're going to the crossing routes because they're getting a lot of man-to-man defense from Hamilton. So one way to beat that is crosses across the middle. Now, at times it puts your receivers in harm's way. But if Buck Pierce can get time, it's awfully tough to cover in man-to-man when a receiver's running away from you across the middle of the field.
Hickman draws the flag, negating a 19-yard gain. 2nd and 14. Pierce flushed. Ray Williams trying to track him, and he'll bring him down short of the first first down up at the 32.
Three-man pressure, and Ray Williams is the spy on the play. He knows that Buck Pierce likes to take off and run, and will when he realizes it's just three-man pressure. So then it becomes middle linebacker versus quarterback when he takes off and runs in this draw. And it's a good tackle in the open field because Ray Williams is patient. He doesn't try and take him out in one hit or one big hit. He waits for him to come to him, corrals him, gets him to the ground short of the first down.
Past the 8-minute mark of this third quarter. Thigpen awaits. Pressure. And Renault just got it away. Short kick, and Thigpen diving to the 43-yard line as Hamilton's offense is on the clock here.
Well, just numbers that are not much to write home about for Kevin Glenn. And, you know, this season, Kevin Glenn has been pulled. I mean, there's been times when Marcel Belfay has thought, you know what, I'm going to try and shake it up and see if we can put in Quentin Porter and see if that can make a difference. Larry Jones, offensive coordinator, he's got to find a way to break some of these receivers open.
Remember, this offense was retooled. Pass is complete underneath for Chris Williams. An offense retooled to accommodate Terry Grant, Avon Coburn, and Marcus Thigpen all together. And it worked for a couple of weeks, but they've hit a snag here tonight.
Well, they haven't got Terry Grant involved in the offense much. I mean, Kari Jones waited about 3 series into the first quarter before he even put him on the field offensively. And now with the clock where it is and the score where it is, that sort of takes Avon Coburn out of the mix a little bit. They could put Terry Grant in as a receiver, but still a little too early to completely abandon your offensive game plan, although the one that they had in that first half.
2nd and 2, and Quentin Porter checks in. And the handoff to Coburn, and he gets stopped. Extra effort, but Merrill Johnson makes sure he's not going anywhere.
Just a great push, and this is how you stop the run. It's not about catching. You know, if you're a defensive lineman and you step up the field, if you start to peek and try and look and sort of dance with your offensive lineman, then you're going to get in trouble. That's where a bubble is created. But watch just the great penetration here is that defensive line on the left side. They're not sitting there dancing and hand fighting. They're shooting the gaps. They're coming up the field, pushing that offensive line and line of scrimmage back into the lap of the running back Avon Coburn, who had no chance.
Line drive, Medlock's kick gets by Javon Johnson. No yards, but just 5, and so the Bombers are backed up.
One of very few. You heard Chris Schultz talk about Javon Johnson. I couldn't agree with him more on what he was talking about and the little things that he does to contribute. And I kept count.
No yards. Hamilton, number 14. 5-yard penalty. First down.
After Chris Schultz did the math at halftime, he said he had 38 yards of those little returns in the first half. Well, it's up to 48 now, so almost half of a football field that he is chipping in as far as yardage goes. Javon Johnson is always catching the air. That's very rare what you just saw, that he'll let a punt hit the ground.
Eric Bo Smith was the man in the no-yard zone.
But it could be now for Hamilton if they want to try and grab momentum. This is the time to do it right now.
Been a clean game so far. No turnovers. Pierce with that fake, and the pass behind Edwards. Incomplete.
You got to give this Bomber organization a ton of credit. They stuck with Paul LaPolice. A tough season last year. Bunch of close games that they lost. Really struggled on the road at 0-9, but poised to take hold of first place in the East.
How about the way they evaluated their quarterbacks? And there were a lot of people outside Winnipeg wondering, can you go into a year with Buck Pierce and with Joey Elliott and Alex Brink? And all of them, and the Elliott season ended shortly, all of the league contributions. Ray Williams tripping on Pierce, who got it away. Incomplete, but somehow avoiding the sack back at the 3-yard line.
Ray Williams is stepping up. That's a couple plays in a row on Buck Pierce. One on that quarterback draw in the last series. This time he just shoots the gap. Buck Pierce wants to go full roll to his right, and Ray Williams just shoots the gap. Watch as he rolls, and he cuts in between Chris Garrett and that right tackle, Glenn January.
So that defense does its job. Thigpen awaits at the 50 of Hamilton. The Tiger Cats with an opportunity here to get a little closer.
I wonder if Winnipeg Blue Bombers give up 2 points and get that field position back here.
Make a 16-point game a 14-point game. No, they don't. Paul Lapalisse has said that with his defense, the way they play, very hard for him to make that kind of decision, and he avoids it here. 40-yard punt and great field position. See if Kevin Glenn can do something with it.
And that's why he made that decision, Chris, because I think a lot of teams would think about not giving Kevin Glenn an opportunity with a strike and working on their half of the field with a quick strike for a major to grab momentum in a game that's been completely controlled by the Bombers. But because of the way their defense is playing, Paul Lapalisse has that luxury. He can say, yeah, no, I'm kicking it from my end zone. Why not? Put my defense out there. Not only could they get the stop again, they might make a big play. One of those sexy stats.
Fake to Coburn. Catch is made by Williams. And he'll step out in front of Javon Johnson at the Bomber 47-yard line.
Nice game plan created here by Tim Burke, defensive coordinator, to show a bunch of different looks. He's got the luxury as a coordinator to get pressure with 4. Doug Brown and Kenny Maynor, Odell Willis up front. Those are just, when you can do that, there's so much more you can do in this back end in your secondary and linebacking core.
Second and a couple. And that look into Marcus Thigpen's a first down at the Winnipeg 41-yard line. Last time these teams met, Kevin Glenn passed for a season high 351 yards. And 101 after that completion to Thigpen.
Hamilton also has to think right about now about getting in and out of the huddle a little quicker. I know there's a full quarter and a bit to play. They got to hustle.
Short drop, flag down, pass complete. As Makari Grant's into the game. And that's his first catch of the night. And an injured Ticat on the field.
I believe it's Bakari Grant's first catch since mid-September.
Offside. Hamilton number 88. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
And the play negated by an offside against veteran Dave Stala.
So they'll take that one right off the board. I believe it was September 11th versus Montreal where Grant made his last catch.
Wayne Smith was shaken up on that last play, so he was in on that offensive line. Checking who Wayne Smith might have been in for. The screen and pass is incomplete, but a flag was tossed just as Coburn was trying to reel that one in.
Odell Willis hustled off the field there, almost like he was trying to get to the trainers for some medical attention. I'm not sure if he wasn't pulled down coming off the edge. He's working on Brian Simmons on this play, who's playing left tackle in this game for Belton Johnson. And he immediately went right to the bench after this play.
Holding. Hamilton number 59. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
And I believe that'll be the call on Brian Simmons on Odell Willis. Tries to go out and around high, and you can see just kind of throw him to the ground, and may even hit his own teammate.
So it's 1st and 25 back at midfield. Heat is on. Jason Vega almost came up with a sack and underneath. Coburn back into Ticat territory. Down to the 46.
Big game for Jason Vega. They really almost don't miss too much. Well, they do with Odell, but they don't miss too much by rotating him in, because Jason Vega, a couple sacks last week versus Montreal, getting back into the lineup, so they can rotate him in to give a guy a rest. Or if someone gets nicked, like Odell Willis on that last play, he comes in and doesn't miss a beat.
9 the last play, so it's 2nd and 16. 4 receivers to this near side. That's where Glenn wants to go, and it's intercepted. Brandon Stewart. Stewart with the interception, a flag down on the return, and Stewart's still going. And Brandon Stewart is going to score. Will it stand? It's a touchdown return for Brandon Stewart. Yards on the return, and that's a sexy play for the Bomber defense.
That's a sexy stat, you bet, and it's good pass rush up front that rushes the throw just a little bit from Kevin Glenn, and Brandon Stewart, who talked to the team as part of the pregame speech, walked it like he talked it.
But there was a flag on the field. Did not get an explanation of what that was all about.
We here, baby. We here.
This is Bomber football at its best. This is what they do.
45th turnover of the year, or takeaway. That's tops in the league.
Told me he was gonna get it.
4th interception for Brandon Stewart. In fact, the Bomber corners,
I'm coming to get you
Johnson
for
and
the
Stewart have
interception.
more interceptions than the entire Ticat team.
Good pressure again from Jason Vega off the edge, and watch the pressure that he puts on when he's coming off the corner right there on Brian Simmons. Simmons has to almost dive for him and you can feel that Kevin Glenn rushes it a little bit, overthrows his target. That's where Brandon Stewart is sitting, and then great running in the open field. This is a couple of nice cuts to cut back to the middle and show his speed. And there's not an offensive lineman there that's going to catch him. It just a bit of a rush throw, and I think Kevin Glenn will look back at this and say he had more time than he felt in the pocket. But I just can't believe Brian Simmons just diving out there to try and make his block. Actually, that was Kashama on the outside. Well off the target on that throw.
The 11th interception tossed by Kevin Glenn on the season.
Well, everybody back home, Seattle. Love y'all. Winnipeg, everybody that support us. Let's go. Let's go, baby.
Well, he fired them up before the game, as you mentioned, and that way to put out the Tiger Cat fire. 23-point lead in the final minute of the 3rd quarter.
Breaks a little bit of a slump for him, too. He had a couple interceptions back in August against Edmonton, and then has gone 7 games without one.
Alex Suber had a touchdown return of the interception here in opening night. Javon Johnson's got a couple on the year. Now Stewart has one. Terry Graham steps out. Looks like Quentin Porter is going to come in for the Ticats.
.249 yards passing on the season at 63% for Quentin Porter in limited playing time. Has not thrown a touchdown yet.
Just checking the career stats for Glenn against the Bombers, his old team. Now 18 interceptions and 19 touchdowns. That's his worst interception to touchdown ratio of any team he plays.
Look how
almost picked off. And look at this the other way. The intended target on the interception was Glenn McKay. This time he got one, and boy, that was a fine line between another Winnipeg interception and perhaps a return for a touchdown.
Yeah, this time Clint Kent, who got a nice jump and a nice drop on this football, and you're right, look at that, he's underneath, and I think it was McKay who just kind of bumped him just before he got to the football. That one may have gone to the house.
Wow, 24-yard pickup though. Avon Coburn, he's got a hole, kicks it outside, and runs over a couple, and finally taken down by the safety Ian Logan on the final play of the third quarter. 15 minutes left. The Bombers in control at Ivor Wynne. We're through 45 minutes, and there are the numbers with Winnipeg on top.
You know, it's Bomber football at its best, and one of the reasons they have the best record in the CFL coming in, because they play great defense. They really limit the opposing offensive team. They make the big turnover. They make the play on defense. I mean, this is Bomber football.
We had a pretty good discussion before we came on about Hamilton. Are they not stretching this defense? Or are they not? What in their play calling don't you like?
Well, I think they can't get that ball deep and stretch it because of the pressure up front from the defensive line for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. But what they can do, and what I'm surprised at, Chris, is they're not using Terry Grant or Avon Coburn in those little hitch passes, or getting that back into space and allow him to make the big play on a real short throw. I mean, it's sometimes I wonder, and I'm not suggesting that Marcel Belfait went this way, but sometimes I wonder if coaches almost outthink themselves. They think that everyone's talking about Terry Grant. They may lock into him. We'll go somewhere else with the football, you know, and maybe overthink it a little bit. I mean, this is a bright young player that's got over 300 yards in 2 games that he's played in, and he's been on the bench for most of this game when the offense is on the field. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Avon Coburn, but I just wonder why they're not getting him the football.
First time the Ticats have put together consecutive first downs. A fake to Coburn, and a wide open Chris Williams. Touchdown! Quentin Porter has Hamilton into the end zone.
Well-designed play here. You got to give him credit for this one, because they're going to have Quentin Porter roll away, and with his running ability, he's going to stretch the edge and maybe cause some of those defenders to freeze. He rolls to his left, and then he's going to throw it back across the flow to Chris Williams, and that really will surprise the safety. You don't often, as a safety, think that a quarterback can roll one way and throw all the way back the other side.
Chris Williams has his 6th touchdown of the year. 30 seconds into the fourth quarter. Extra point is good. And it's back to a 16-point lead.
Well, it is that time of year again. 1 week from tonight, boys, we'll be at the Rogers Centre in downtown Toronto, and at halftime of the Stamps-Argos game, the final of a Wendy's Kick for a Million. 18 million entries this year.
That is crazy, Dave. Yeah. That's a huge number.
Came down to 2 guys tonight, semifinal at Ivor Wynne Stadium. Here they are, Greg Wilson, 51 years of age from Calgary, and a very excited Nick Green, 23 years of age from Mississauga. Let's see what happened. Both contestants had hit 2 of their previous 3 kicks going into the tiebreaker. From 50 yards out, Greg Wilson's attempt travels 24 yards. So Nick needs to kick it just 25 yards to advance. All he's got to do is kick it 25 yards. And he didn't. Oh. Comes up short. So it's going to be Greg Wilson moving on to kick for $1 million next week in Toronto. Greg, we wish you all the best, buddy. We'll see you 7 days from now.
No competitor looks at trucks the way GMC engineers do. That's why the Sierra is engineered with variable valve timing, active fuel management, and a 6-speed Hydromatic transmission. So it's the only truck that delivers over 300 horsepower of acceleration and trailering power when you need it, without sacrificing best-in-class V8 fuel efficiency. The Sierra from GMC. When you never compromise, you have nothing to hide.
The CFL on TSN is brought to you by GMC Sierra, the most durable, longest-lasting full-size pickup on the road.
Part of the key to that play, Chris, was the fact that Quentin Porter took that deep roll. I mean, he bought himself an extra 5 or 6 yards away from that front four from the Winnipeg Blue Bomber D-line, so he could throw it all the way back to Chris Williams.
There's Beasley on the return for the Bombers. Just out beyond the 35.
Tough for Ian Logan on this play. You know, when you're the safety and you see the quarterback roll, you just have to sort of stay in the middle and watch how he gets caught here. I'm going to show you the layered play. Chris Williams there, and then the roll here. Now when you go ahead and run it, you're going to see Quentin Porter rolling to his left, holds Ian Logan. Hold it there, guys, for a second. See, he does not want to go into that part of the field with the quarterback out on this side, and that's where they get caught, and Chris Williams outflanks him.
20